is not live. It's on tape. Make a mistake. Just say I want to start over again.
Okay.
Let me ask you a really easy question. Can you just say your names for me?
Rick.
And your last name?
Irwin.
Melanie Irwin.
Okay.
I'm going to scoot you just a hair more. You're just creeping in.
And again, you are Jeremy's
Father. Yeah.
family. So, can you tell me about Lisa?
She's a wonderful baby. I mean, is there any babies that's not wonderful? You know, I mean, what can you say? Every child is unique and beautiful, and it's a sad time, you know, obviously for everybody concerned. Very happy child. Just a beautiful baby.
Can I ask you to describe your granddaughter for me?
About the same. She's smart. She's beautiful.
Happy.
She's very, very good. She's just amazing.
Looks like a Gerber baby, blonde, blue
Right.
eyes.
There you go.
Yep.
So when did you find out there was something wrong?
Monday morning.
A little before 5
Who called
in the
you?
morning. The Kearney police come by and rang our doorbell and asked us if they told us they were looking for a 10-month-old baby, and I said, really? Well, I said, oh my God. And she goes, do you know what we're talking about? And I said, no, I have no idea. And she said, Lisa's missing. And then we kind of freaked out, you know. And so we got dressed, and we asked them if everybody else was okay, the boys and everybody, and they said they didn't know, so they called and come back and told us that everybody was okay, and then we got dressed and immediately and headed that way.
Has your son described that moment where he came home and what was going through his mind when he came home at 4 in the morning?
He just, first of all, he couldn't imagine why the lights were on in the house. And so he just walked in, and Deborah was in the bedroom, and he said, what's going on? Why are all the lights on? And she said, I didn't know they were, and then they started looking.
And discovered the baby was missing and called the police. And I mean, think about it. How would any parent feel under those circumstances? I mean, you got to be nauseated, you got to be horrified, you got to be every crazy, terrible feeling that you would ever have would come out at that time, I would think. You know, I mean, it's your child, it's your baby, whether it's a baby or a young child or whatever. You know, it's like you hear all the time, it's a parent's worst nightmare.
Did he describe to you at all the level of panic that kicked in for him at that moment?
No, not really. I mean, he was just devastated. And, you know, what was it? Actually, the front door was unlocked too, so that was.
So he came home, found the front door unlocked,
Right,
and the lights on,
and all the lights on.
and he
yes.
knew maybe there was something wrong.
Right, and so he started, you know, looking around for everybody, and they discovered she was not there.
What have these last 2 days been like for you?
Pretty bad.
Tough, very tough. I mean, emotion-wise, you go through every gamut of emotion as far as sad, hysterical, depressed. I mean, not knowing what's going on. But it's a terrible feeling. I don't wish that feeling on anybody under any circumstances.
The powerlessness of it.
Absolutely. I mean, you're what can you do? You can't do anything. You can just sit there and wait for some small bit of information that might give you hope, you know, because it's hard to think of positive things under those conditions, you know, because you see stuff like this happens, you know, and it always happens to somebody else, and you feel terrible inside for that person and their family when you hear about it. But when it actually happens to you, it's horrible.
Of this whole parade of what's the hardest?
I mean,
And
it's got to be
getting
for
longer and
everything.
longer, you know. The time frame is getting longer and longer, and she just needs to be found and brought home. My heart and life is the
Right now, what's the hardest part for you?
Not knowing.
not knowing.
I mean,
And
it's got to be
getting
for
longer and
everything.
longer, you know. The time frame is getting longer and longer, and she just needs to be found and brought home.
If you had a sense that whoever was holding her was watching this, what would you say?
Bring her back, drop her off at a hospital, police station, fire department, church. Bring her back. We love her. Everybody loves her.
She needs her family.
She needs her family. They need her.
What message do you want to send to the community?
Just ask that everybody keep their eyes open. Things that they might not normally think is important might be important. Don't be afraid to call the TIPS hotline, KCPD, any authority with the least little thing. Would ask that everybody pray for the family. For her safe return.
How do you stop yourself from spinning off, the worst case scenario in your head?
You can't really.
No, it just.
I mean, it's hard to put good thoughts in your head when you know how ugly the world can be. There's a lot of these cases that end up positive, and you try to think of that. But inside, it's tough to deal with.
This is clearly a very close, loving family.
Yes.
Well, as we discussed, these cases are incredibly rare, but of the documented cases since 1983, all but 12 have ended with a happy ending. So that's really encouraging to hear.
Yes,
Right.
it is. We want this one to end happy also, So,
We do too. Any other points that I should give you an opportunity to make, because you've been terrific?
We just want to thank everyone for their help. All the police,
KCPD, the fire department, the rescue teams, the
FBI.
FBI, the media, everybody.
And just one last question: as this drags on, as the police are saying, "Look, we don't have any leads, we don't have any suspects." When you hear that, what is that like for you?
It's not a good feeling, but we get enough people praying about the situation. God has His way of working. Hope for the best.
I'm hoping for the best with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. It takes a lot of courage to do this, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we need any wide shots or anything like that? Or are we okay?
Just go ahead and
If it's okay, he's just going to take a wider shot of us talking. Going back. So I'll just talk for just a moment. This is going to be part of a broadcast that we're doing nationally at 11:30 tonight for Nightline. It will also be on Good Morning America tomorrow. So there's two chances to really reach a large audience. This is going to be the lead piece on Nightline tonight. So that's